watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night to all my viewers tuning in right here on The Vibe in the studio, right here in Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. I am your host, TJ. So tonight, I wanted to go over a few random things. I wanted to talk about a widely discussed controversy, both Jokers, Heath Ledger and Jared Leto. I'm going to go over some of my funny stories when I was in the military. I'm going to talk a little more about party tours, as I always do. I'm going to talk about an awesome music lineup you have to check out right here in Las Vegas when you come visit. I'm going to talk about a really cool local point of interest that's just literally eyes view from the studio. So keep checking in. I'm going to put on some music videos throughout the show and come back. We're going to listen to Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. This is probably the most popular song of 2017. Tell me what you guys think. I sure as hell love Ed Sheeran.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
All right, welcome back. So it's pretty obvious by now that I am a huge fan of superheroes, in particular, the Joker. All of my fans know how much I'm into the Joker, but one thing that gets brought up a lot is the new Joker and the old Joker, or still is new, but the older version. Heath Ledger and Jared Leto, as you can see behind me. I've made it really clear that I love all iterations of the Joker, but honestly, what's the difference between the two? I really took the time to watch both movies and write down their similarities and their differences. You know, I really don't understand why people think one is better than the other, so this is what I gathered. If you've watched the movie, I think you will be entertained by this. But if you haven't, I think you should probably maybe tune in a minute after I'm done talking about it, because I think you need to watch the movie beforehand. Otherwise, you probably won't get any of this. So Ledger is more of like an anarchist, while Leto is more of a straight-up gangster crime lord. Ledger wears makeup as war paint to scare people, while Leto's tattoos and scars tell a story to scare people. They both make complex plans, while Ledger does it to prove a point to society, and Leto does it more to save his girlfriend. Ledger's more of an agent of chaos, while Gotham is more of a king of Gotham. Ledger destroys several SWAT team vehicles and a helicopter, while Leto destroys, or actually hijacks, a Navy SEAL helicopter and takes out multiple Navy SEALs in the movie. Ledger steals from the mob and convinces them to hire him, while Leto is feared by the entire Gotham City crime syndicate. They both take Batman head-on in combat, and they both fire guns while laughing maniacally, and they both meet death head-on. Bottom line is, both Jokers are crazy, and both Jokers are fearless, and they're both different forms of art that DC has put out there, and I think they should both be respected as just different forms of art. Now, both of these Jokers are a lot different than the Jack Nicholson Joker, but I'd say he's just as good as the other ones. Throughout time, the Joker really changes. You know, you see this when you first seen the Joker in the 1930s. He was more of a prankster, jewel thief, and then as he evolved over time, he became a lot darker throughout the 70s and 80s and became totally something new. Now, the reason for this was back in the 50s and 60s, there was high censorship of a lot of the comics and stuff for kids, and they didn't want it to come off as too dark. But as time went along, it became a lot darker, as you can see from the movies that we've seen now. So if you haven't checked out The Dark Knight or Suicide Squad, please check it out and tell me what you guys think. So I've been playing a lot of 21 Pilots. They are my absolute favorite. Stay tuned to The Vibe right here on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. We're still going to talk about a lot more interesting stuff, but tell me what you guys think of this song by 21 Pilots.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
Welcome back to The Vibe right here on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. So as I briefly mentioned in the past, I did serve in the Air Force, actually right here at Nellis Air Force Base. It's huge base, by the way. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it was, compared to the other bases that I was stationed at, it was a whole city. And I was living on a toenail, basically, in Mississippi. Probably one of my favorite stories comes from when I was at boot camp. Our drill sergeants were called MTIs in the Air Force. And, you know, they'd yell at you all day, they'd condition you, they'd train you during boot camp. But at the end of the day, you know, it would kind of be more laxed, and the drill sergeant would take you in, and he'd sit at a desk. And in front of you, everybody would sit down Indian style and just listen. It'd be more relaxed tone. He would let us know what to expect throughout the week. Let us know how we did on drill, what we need to improve on, and what we are doing really good on. And our sergeant one day, it was the third week of training, we had just still kind of figured out our place, but we had a lot to learn. And one of the guys was sitting up in front, just way too comfortable while drill sergeant was talking about mail call procedures. And he lets out a fart, right? Ever so daint and quiet. And I don't think he knew it was coming, because the look on his face was, crap, did I really just do that? And the drill sergeant just stops mid-sentence and, you'd better hoover that shit, because if the smell gets to me, I'm going to give you a root canal with my foot. So naturally, he follows orders and starts wafting his own ass air. And the two buddies next to him start laughing quietly, and drill sergeant goes, oh, okay, got some class clowns here. You two, get down and help him right now. He made these two guys get on their hands and knees and sniff up this guy's fart like an idiot. And I had to bite the sides of my cheeks so hard that they bled to not laugh. Anyone else want to laugh? I didn't think so. Funniest experience in my whole time in the military. I got a few more that I want to talk about as well, but right now I'm going to put on We Don't Talk Anymore by Charlie Puth. Keep watching The Vibe on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
All right, welcome back to The Vibe right here live in Las Vegas on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. So I talk about it every week. I'm going to talk about it this week, Party Tours Las Vegas. So as you know, by the TV shows that you guys have been watching on this network, we go to club on party buses with a mascot who takes, with a host as well, who takes you throughout these clubs and make sure you have a good time. He'll serve you drinks throughout the transit between the clubs. He'll take all the photos. He'll make sure that you don't have to wait in any lines, and that your experience in Las Vegas is top notch. So if you're not familiar with party tours, you really don't have to look very far. It's right here on the network. You get to see some of the best times that we have right here on Party Tours. But hey, if you come into Vegas, make sure you come to me, Tyler, and I'll hook you up. As a matter of fact, if you call the company and give them my coupon code, LOVETYLER, they'll hook you up with a 50% discount at least. Excuse me. So make sure that you tune in to watch the Party Tours TV show right here on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. And when you come to Vegas, you actually check out the experience for yourself. Hey, you might end up on an episode yourself. Who knows? So the next song I've played before, I really like it, so I want to make sure that you guys check it out. This is Down by Mariah Hill, just came out this year. It's a really interesting combination of EDM and very light R&B. Tell me what you guys think.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
So a lot of times I like to talk about, you know, the fun places to visit right here in Vegas, you know, the clubs, the musical points of interest, all the party places, all the cool places to gamble. But maybe when you come out here, you want to see more of the nature sides of Las Vegas, because one of the reasons I moved out here is just the beauty of the desert in particular. I fell in love with the mountains, Mount Charleston, some of the natural parks, and even some of the streams and rivers and stuff out here. Not really Lake Mead. I'm going to talk about a place called Nelson's Landing. It's probably, I've had some of the best summer memories at Nelson's Landing. If you know the way that Nevada, the landscape is, how it works, there's the Colorado River runs through Arizona and Nevada, and there's a small kind of lake out that was created by it, Nelson's Landing. It's a spot that I go out and camp during the summertime with friends, and we just swim all day, and we jump off these cliffs, and they get up to about 20 or 30 to even 50 feet above the water, and we just jump in and have fun. I went and filmed a music video out there with a friend. In 2015, I remember I got a brand new motorcycle and rode out there, and about halfway there, I got rear-ended by a car. My bike was totaled. So I actually had to stay out at Nelson's Landing for 3 days, and I met some really cool friends down there. My friends Andre, Sergio, Sean, Ren. We all went just camping out there. Once I got my bike hit, I had to stay out there. They stayed out with me for 3 days with the tent, and it was awesome. We went jumping off these cliffs. We roasted hot dogs and chicken on the barbecue. We shot some BB guns. It was really cool. I remember me and my friend Sean, we were talking to these 3 girls that had just drove up for the weekend. They were from France. They came out, they were touring all over North America, and nobody wanted to talk to them. So me and my friend Sean were like, hey, we're not afraid to talk to girls. So we went over and talked to them. They were really cute. And they were the nicest girls ever. They ended up coming, and they went skinny dipping with us later. It was probably the most fun experience of 2015. So I suggest to you guys, if you really love the nature side of Las Vegas, especially the desert landscape, you have to check out Nelson's Landing. It's quite a ways from Las Vegas, so plan your trip accordingly. I would suggest going in the summer, but if you do that, make sure you bring tons of water. The Vegas Valley can get really hot and dangerous during the days and afternoons during the summertime. Make sure you check it out, though, if you ever do come out to Vegas. It's the best place to have summer memories. I met some of the best friends in my life that weekend. So this song's for you guys, all my buddies from that summer. This is 7 Years by Lucas Graham. It has a good message.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
How you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in to my show on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. So once again, I wanted to touch on the whole military topic because I feel like a lot of times people talk about military can be met with either grim or sinister, or not sinister, darker undertones, you know what I'm saying? So I like to talk about my fun and memorable experiences in the military because honestly, I met some of the greatest people in this country, some of the greatest defenders of freedom and some of the greatest patriots who are just kids, basically. Whoa, Star Wars. We're going to talk about that later, though. So, there's a picture of me there with my goofy smile. I was in a unit called Red Horse. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's a civil engineering unit that the Air Force is known for. What I love all these people that they serve our country. And, I mean, they started out as kids. You know, the people I served with were mostly 18 to 20. And that's really how it was for American troops. They don't warn you, though, about all the support you get all at once you graduate boot camp. I remember right when I graduated, I got to my unit, and I got in my house, and I wanted to get a copy of The Dark Knight, which had come out a while ago. I don't know why I was getting a copy of it. I should have had it by now. But I went to Walmart. I had just gotten off base. I'm still in my uniform, and I'm walking through Walmart. You just buy a DVD. It takes about 5 minutes, right? I think I made it about 10 feet before I got stopped. Oh, how you doing, sir? Thank you so much for your service. Oh, yes, thank you, sir. He says, I served in Quezon back in 1965, Vietnam. I remember back in my day, and about 2.5 hours later, I thought I was going to collapse. This guy unloaded probably the longest war story I ever heard. I could have wrote a Dear American novel by the time I got out of there. He goes, about 2 hours later, oh, my wife probably thinks I'm dead. I should go find her now. I'm like, okay. Thank you for your service, sir. God bless. I must have made it another 10 feet before, how you doing, son? Thank you for your service. God bless you. I remember I served my time in 91 in Desert Storm, and I probably should have brought a chair, shouldn't I? I must have spent 3 hours total in Walmart listening to war stories collectively. God bless all those people, but wow, I was not prepared for people constantly, thank you so much for your sacrifice, thank you so much for your sacrifice. I'm like, all I've sacrificed is my hair. So, you really got to hear some of these amazing war stories from these veterans. It really touches you. Keep watching The Vibe right here on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. This is Burn by Ellie Gooding. When we come back, I'm going to talk about some more awesome local points of interest right here in Las Vegas.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
How you guys doing? You guys are watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. I am TJ, and I'm going to talk a little more about some of the music to expect out here in Las Vegas. So if you ever come out here, we're known for having some of the greatest headlines of all time come through Vegas. I mean, Elvis Presley was a regular. Frank Sinatra. I mean, these people sung about Las Vegas. So some of these musicians that are coming through, I want to give you a chance to hear about them way in advance, or if you're coming in town really soon, you'll be able to catch them really soon. At the T-Mobile Arena, October 28th, we have Jay-Z is going to be performing. Right after that, Lil Uzi Vert is going to be performing November 4th at the Thomas and Mack Center. Lil Uzi Vert's a crazy looking dude. Lil Wayne is going to be performing October 29th at Dre's. If you haven't been to Dre's, you have to check it out. Party Tours is known for frequenting Dre's at the Cromwell. If you're maybe more into pop, you got to check out Backstreet Boys. They're going to be performing November 8th through the 18th at Axis. There's going to be Elton John performing October 11th through the 28th and November 1st through the 4th at Coliseum. Lady Gaga is going to be rolling through the T-Mobile Arena December 16th. Now, maybe you like rock and roll. Marilyn Manson is going to be performing at the House of Blues October 28th. Guns N' Roses is going to be performing at the T-Mobile Arena November 17th. And Ringo Starr is going to be performing October 13th through the 28th at Planet Hollywood Showroom. Now, if you're like me, I love EDM. Probably my first concert I ever went to was an Excision rave right here in Las Vegas at the Brooklyn Bowl. It was insane. If you're not familiar with EDM music, it's a lot of headbanging. So I must have messed up my neck because the next day I had to go to work with a neck brace on. It was fantastic. But the Chainsmokers are going to be performing at XS October 28th. Diplo is going to be performing at XS as well October 29th. And Marshmello is going to be performing at Surrender October 25th. Marshmello, by the way, all my friends have met him. He's a really courteous, fan-loving DJ, so make sure to check him out and meet him afterwards. Maybe you're not really into EDM, not your style. Maybe you like country music. I know the country festivals are huge out here. Rascal Flatts is going to be performing October 20th through the 21st at the Venetian Theater. Jared Neiman is going to be performing at Stoney's October 27th, and Daryl Worley is going to be at Access Showroom November 4th. Also, if you haven't checked out Stoney's, that's another place I think I'm going to go over on my show at some point. It's a kind of a club that's always open on the weekends and some weekdays at the, what is it? The mall right down the street from the Mandalay Bay. It's a country-themed club, and it's awesome. So if you are a country fan, you have to check out Stoney's. Really reasonable prices and drinks. So when we come back, I'm going to talk a little more about some of the places you need to visit in Vegas. This is Lean On by DJ Snake.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
The Sith and Return of the Jedi in particular. So this logo is starting to worry fans because of its red undertone. Another thing, if you haven't kept up with a lot of the Hollywood media, the late Carrie Fisher passed away last year. God rest her soul. She was a wonderful actress who played Princess Leia in the original trilogy. She did pass away last year. She did complete all of her footage for the new movie that came out before she passed away, but it does mean that we will not get to see her in the conclusion of this trilogy, which is very sad. But I have heard that this movie did a lot of justice for this character, so I'm really excited to see it. A final farewell to, first of all, my crush, but my father's childhood crush. You know, I mean, the Star Wars movies were my whole childhood. So I'm really excited that I get to, as an adult, relive it, and my kids will get to relive it too. So I don't want to spoil too much for this movie. If you want to get more information on it, you have to check out the trailers. I will warn you, though, the trailers do seem to give away a lot, so if you're really trying to walk in to see the new Star Wars movie totally blind, don't watch the trailer. But Luke Skywalker is going to be in it, so Mark Hamill is reprising his role. Princess Leia is going to be in it, Chewbacca. All the basic original characters besides Han Solo. If you don't know why, you need to go back and watch the movies for yourself. So when we get back, I want to talk about the Fashion Show Mall that's right here, literally right behind the studio. But before we do, Iggy Azalea. This is Black Widow, my favorite song by her.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
So one of the biggest questions I get from my fans is, TJ, where do you get all the cool t-shirts that you wear? The answer is real simple. I actually used to work at Hot Topic at the Fashion Show Mall. Now, if you're not familiar with Hot Topic, it used to be one of those gothic punk rock stores, you know, where they'd sell band tees and stuff. Now they've really opened up their merchandise into, like, you know, pop culture collectibles and stuff. So I love to just collect comic book t-shirts and movie t-shirts and band tees. So, you know, but I had gotten a job at the Hot Topic at the Fashion Show Mall, and I wanted to talk about it because it is probably one of the most awe-inspiring shopping malls that I have ever seen in my life. Now, it's right on Las Vegas Boulevard, so you can't miss it if you ever take a trip out here. Right in the heart of Vegas. It's actually, if you walk right out of our studio, you can see it. That's how close it is. So if you guys ever go to the Fashion Show Mall, you can pop in and say hi, of course. But the Fashion Show Mall itself has about 4 stories, and it's known for actually having live fashion shows inside of the mall, and is known for having probably the top tier clothing stores throughout the entire store, like Chanel, Michael Kors, you know, all that stuff. But they also have, you know, your basic Sears and Dick's Sporting Goods department stores, and they have really high-end restaurants, like, you know, hibachi style, whilst also having, you know, Subway and food courts. But it's one of the few malls you can actually not only drink and shop, but you can buy drinks at the bar and then go buy drinks at another bar, because that's how Vegas is. This is the pinnacle of shopping in Las Vegas right here. So if you ever want to check out the Fashion Show Mall, please, you won't be disappointed at all. Yeah, no, you guys got to check it out. So my last song I wanted to play is probably a throwback to one of the best summers of my life, 2013. This is Radioactive by Imagine Dragons.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
So I want to thank all the viewers tonight for tuning in to my show right here on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company, where I talk about music from artists that have been in Vegas, that are in Vegas, and that will always come back to Vegas. I like to talk about some awesome places that you should visit right here in Vegas, and some awesome movies that you should check out in the near future. So next week, I'm possibly going to have the executive producer of Las Vegas Broadcasting Company come on my show, possibly. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but we will find out. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next time.
You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.